so cute.
Thanks. I try. No, I'm just kidding. Okay. When attending events like Vote or Us, what do you want to take away from the event?
It's really twofold. People think like, you show up to these and you have all the answers to everything, and it's really not that at all. It's really about like building community, touching base with resources, seeing what people care about, seeing where you can best be of service to folks. Like we went out today canvassing a bit, and it's like listening to people. Uh, so it's twofold. It's like sharing thoughts, sharing information, and then also kind of listening and seeing what some of the issues are, and hopefully lending your voice and your platform to it. So that's kind of how I show up,
Yeah.
and it's been great. Like it's a good group of people. I feel like I don't know. It always feels good when you feel like you're like building community and relationships and
100%.
yeah. So it's been great.
Thank you. A lot of people feel like their opinion doesn't matter or won't change. Do you have any advice for someone that may want to get in the right rooms, but they're not sure where to start when it comes to voting?
So sorry. Hold
No, you're
on.
fine.
Hold on. Is that me? Oh, it's not me. Okay, I'm not sorry. It's not me. Tell me again, one more time.
Okay, so a lot of people feel like their opinion doesn't matter when it
Yeah.
comes to voting, or it feels like they can't do anything.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to someone who's just getting started, and like how should they get started?
With voting,
Yeah,
or
with
just
voting
getting
or just
well,
getting
first of all, it's like
involved.
becoming aware. There's
Yes.
tons of places. I always say like try to find people that you resonate to, that you can build a trust with in terms of finding information, because there's so much false information that's shared. To me, that's a big thing. I always look for people that I can kind of like, I trust them. I might not agree with everything they say, but that's somebody that I will touch base with for information, whether they be leaders or they be media personalities or politicians or whoever. You have to find your tribe of people that you trust. So I think educating yourself a bit, just showing up too.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you just got to show up
Yeah.
up to a town hall,
Yeah.
show up to a voting rally. You don't even have to say anything. Like I said, you could just listen, and then you find your way from there. I think showing up is a big part of it, and that's also like when it comes to voting. Like you might not have all the answers, but you kind of got to show up.
Yeah, definitely. You just
You
gotta
know.
start educating yourself slowly, whether you
Yes.
don't know anything
Yeah.
at all.
Nobody has. You don't have to be an expert in politics to
Yeah.
vote. You could just care about whatever your issues are. If you have kids, education might be a thing for you. I'm raising two sons, two black sons in New York, and the thought of like stop and frisk coming back really scares me.
Oh my gosh.
So that's something that's important to me. Also, I'm a woman, so women's rights are really important to me. So you start where you are
Yeah.
in your world, and then you kind of find your way from there, figure out what's important to you, and then find people that align with that. And I think that's a great place to start.
Yeah, that was beautiful. As someone who has been in radio in the public eye since the late '80s, what is something you love to see evolving?
That was definitely the 90s, not the 80s.
Oh my god! Oh, that's funny.
Don't put years on me.
No, I knew this was gonna happen. Well, I asked my friend, and she was like, "Let me look it up for you." And I was like, "I think it's the '90s," and she's like, "No, it's the late '80s."
Definitely 90s.
So Janaya? No, I'm just kidding.
Come on, Janaya.
But so since the '90s, what have you seen? Something that you love that's evolving
In what? In like
in the public, in just like media, in the public eye.
I think, I mean, number one, there's so much opportunity now. Sometimes it's like too much opportunity, so there's so many people doing like the same thing. There's a podcast on every corner or whatever, but also that's great because it gives all types of people opportunity to create a voice, to create platforms. That's why I say when you're looking for people to connect with, there's so many options now. So there's so much opportunity, and there's so many ways to learn things now. When I was coming up, nobody really was teaching me how to do radio or teaching me how to do interviews. Now there are so many places to learn, to get information, whether it's in media or whether it's politics or you're an artist or you're a whatever you want to do. There's just so many resources for you to get there. There are really no excuses anymore.
Yeah, that's no excuses. That's what it
Yeah.
is. No excuses. All right. One last little question. If you could give 26-year-old Angie some advice, what advice would you give her?
I think, don't be so hard on yourself. I think I used to think I had to show up and I had to be what people thought I should be. And honestly, you just be who you are, find your way, always try to be better, but give yourself some grace. Like, treat yourself the way you treat everybody else. Like, I was always very mindful of like treating people with respect and
Yes.
treating people the way I wanted to be treated, but I didn't always treat myself that way.
That
So
part.
treating yourself the way you treat other people,
100%.
I think when you're young is really important. To
I
remind
agree.
yourself to say to yourself, "Oh, good job," or "You killed that," or
Yeah.
That wasn't perfect, but you'll kill it next time. Like talk to yourself the way you talk to people that you care about.
Oh
I
yeah,
think as a 26-year-old, it's important to remind yourself that for sure.
I love that. Thanks for talking to
Sure.
me.
Thank you,
I
baby.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.